Okay, I'm sorry for the voice. The voice now is good for all of you, right? So let's start again.
What happens when you take parental preparation that is now isotonic?
Yes. Yes. Let's start again. Sorry for. So let me erase this. Okay. So here we are discussing a question about what happens when you take a parental preparation that is not isotonic. It is either hyper or hypotonic solution. So what will happen? Let us see. For hypo or hypertonic solution. For hypo or hypertonic solution. Here we have two different solutions. In between there is semi-permeable membrane. Okay. So the flow of water or fluids from which side to which side? From higher concentration to low concentration or the opposite? The flow here will be from low concentration to high concentration. Low concentration to high concentration. Okay, this is the flow of the fluids. Here, when we apply it in the bloodstream, we have hypertonic solution. So the flow from the low concentration to higher concentration. The low concentration is in the RBCs. Low concentration here is in the RBCs. While the high concentration is in the plasma. Okay, so that the flow from low to high, from RBCs to the plasma, this will lead to shrinkage of the RBCs. So if the hypertonic solution is injected, shrinkage of the RBCs will happen. Okay, what will happen if the opposite case, the hypotonic solution? Hypotonic solution, the low concentration is in the plasma, while the higher concentration is in the RBCs. Okay, please make the voice mute for all of you. Please mute your voice to decrease the voice and just hear me. Okay, so the fluid will transfer from plasma to the RBCs. This will lead to swelling of the RBCs, then rupture of the RBCs, which leads to hemorrhage. or hemolysis. So that the first answer is the right answer here. Okay? The next question, find the ratio of ionized to unionized drug species at pH of 7 and the pKa of the drug is 5. The pKa reflect what? pKa reflect the drug itself. Is it acidic or basic? And what is the acidity of it? As pKa increase the acidity, what will happen to the acidity? Decrease in acidity, and the drug becomes weaker acid. While pH reflects the medium itself. Is it acidic or basic? The pH 7 here is neutral medium. Below 7, it is acidic. And as we decrease in the pH, the acidity will increase. While as we increase in the pH, the alkalinity or basicity will increase. Okay? How can we find the ratio here? By applying the equation of Henderson-Hasselbalch equation, which saying that pH equal pKa plus log ionized part over unionized part. The ionized part over the unionized part. Okay, so how can we solve it? The pH here is 7 and the pKa is 5 plus log ionized over unionized. When you transfer the 5 to the other side, it will be with negative sign. So 7 minus 5, it will be 2. Therefore, the log ionized over unionized equal 2. Right? Mathematically, what is the value of this ratio? If the log equal 2, mathematically, it will be 100. 2 means 2 zeros. Okay, so ionized over unionized equal 100. What does this means? The ionized equal 100 unionized. So 1 to 100. Therefore, what is the answer from those choices? It will be the first answer. Okay, is it clear for all of you? It's an important point, and sometimes in the previous exams asking about this question. Let's see the next one. Which decreases the tension between solid and liquid? Here we are talking about two different phases, solid phase and liquid phase. And to decrease the tension between them, we need what we call I'm sorry for this disconnection. Let's continue. We stopped here in the wetting agents and surfactant. What is the difference in the meaning between both? For wetting agent is called for the tension between solid and liquid. So when we are talking about suspension, we use the wetting agent. Okay, while when we use or when we are talking about emulsion, we need surfactants or emulsifying agents. The tension between liquid and liquid, one of them will be oil and the other will be water. Okay, so let us see the next question. Here we have two isomers. The following structures are non-superimposable. This means that when you put one of them over the other, they will not be superimposed. If you put the right one over the left one, what will happen? You'll find that this OH will be over this CH3. And this CH3 will be over this OH. So they are not superimposed. Also, they are mirror image to each other. They are mirror image to each other. So they are what we call this isomerism. It is enantiomers, or they are enantiomers. Okay, they are enantiomers. A low molecular weight compound that act as immunogen after chemically complexation or complexing to a large molecule or cell surface is called what we call this compound. When we have a small compound that not affecting the immune system by any way, but when it binds to a large molecule like protein, it becomes immunogenic and increase the immunity or stimulate the immunity. What is this compound? It is hapten. Yes, it is hapten. The following chemical structure is the typical essential fatty acid. Is the typical type of essential fatty acid. The bond between carbon number 3 and carbon number 4 is essential for its omega activities. Okay, what is this compound? What is this structure? Firstly, it is omega 3. Why omega 3? Because the first double bond is in between carbon number 3 and carbon number 4. Okay. So when the carbon number 3 having the double bond, we called it omega 3. When the first double bond is present in carbon number 3, we called it omega 3. Okay. The numbering for omega should start from this carbon. This is number 1, 2, 3. While for IUPAC nomenclature, the starting of numbering should be from this carbon, carboxylic group. Okay, so we have 18 carbons. This compound contains 18 carbons. So it is not icosapentaenoic acid or docosahexaenoic acid. It is linolenic acid, the omega-3, linolenic acid. Okay, let us see another something related to this structure. This is a double bond. So the configuration here is cis or trans, or Z or E. Yes, it is cis. Why? Because in both sides of the double bond, the bigger group is present. So it is cis. Z and E, which one? Z or E? No, it is Z. Cis equal Z. Okay, please remember this. Cis equal Z, while trans equal E. So that it is Z or cis. Let us see the next question. So let us see this note. The linolenic acid is an omega-3, having 3 double bonds. Linoleic acid is the omega-6, having 2 double bonds. While omega-3 contain 2 or 3 double bonds, as cis are polyunsaturated fats. We call them polyunsaturated fats. One of the questions that repeated in the exam about the calculation, how many milliequivalents of magnesium are present in 50 milliliter of 20%, 50 milliliter of 20% magnesium sulfate solution? How can we solve a problem like this? The first step is knowing what is the meaning of 20%. Translate this meaning. Okay, we need to calculate milliequivalents. How many milliequivalents? So that the weight should be by milligram, right? Milliequivalents equal weight in milligram over the molecular weight over the small n. The small n here equal 2, because here we have magnesium. Okay, the first step is translate the meaning. 20% weight per volume. What is this means? 20 grams present in 100 ml, right? But we have 50 milliliters. So how many grams present? Half of this. So it will be 10 grams. 10 grams equal 10,000 milligrams, right? Because we need the weight by milligrams. Then apply the formula of milliequivalence. Milliequivalence equal the weight, which is 1,000 milligrams, over the molecular weight that we have, 246, over the small n. Don't forget the small n, which is 2. Okay, so we can calculate the milliequivalence here, which will be 81.3 milliequivalence. Okay, a very easy question, like all others of milliequivalence. Just knowing the formula and use the right units. You have a stock solution that contains 10 milligram of active ingredient per 5 milliliters of solution, and the physician ordered a dose of 4 milligrams. So how many milliliters of the stock solution will have to be administered? Also a very easy question. Here we have 10 milligram of the drug present in 5 milliliter of the solution, right? We need 4 milligrams. So from how many milligrams you get this? I'm sorry, from how many milliliter you get this 4 milligrams? Just by crisscross. 4 multiplied by 5 over 10, it will be 2 milliliter. Okay. The next calculation problem. You are to prepare 750 milligrams medication in 75 milliliter of infusion over 30 minutes. Okay, this infusion will be injected over the 30 minutes using a dropper. This dropper, 10 drop sets. 10 drops set. What is the meaning of 10 drop sets? This means that every 1 milliliter in 10 drops. So every 10 drops will give you 1 milliliter. Okay. How many drops per minute will that be? Let us see the dose in milliliters to know that how many drops, so that we should calculate the how many milliliters injected per minute. Here the dose is, or the drug contains 750 milligrams every or per 75 milliliter, right? And this 75 milliliter injected in 30 minutes. 75 milliliter injected in 30 minutes. So how many milliliter injected per minute, per 1 minute? So 75 over 30, it will be, let us calculate it, 75 over 30. 2.5 milliliter injected every 1 minute. Okay. We have 1 milliliter equivalent to 10 drops. So how many drops? We need 2.5 milliliter. So how many drops? It is 25 drops per minute. Okay, is it clear? This is how can we calculate the number of drops per minute, or the questions like this. If we asked about the number of drops or a certain dropper. Okay. Let us see the last calculation problem and the last question today. Approximately 50% of cloxacillin is excreted unchanged. Please pay attention with me in this question, because it is important and many persons confuse about these types of calculation. Approximately 50% of cloxacillin is excreted unchanged in the urine. What is the meaning of this statement? This is a very important point to know the meaning. This means that when the drug given by 100 milligram to the bloodstream, 50% of it will affected by the kidney status, and 50% of it will not affected. So if the kidney is 0% active or complete failure of the kidney, the 100 milligrams, only 50 milligrams will be excreted from the body. Okay, and the 50 milligrams will remain in the body due to the failure of the kidney. So the kidney will affect only 50% of the percentage of the drug, or of the amount of the drug in the blood. Okay, if the normal dosage schedule for the cloxacillin is 125 milligram every 6 hours, the patient with renal function, about 20% of the normal kidney should receive which dose? So what is the new dose if we have a patient having kidney function of 20%? When the patient having 100% kidney function, 50% of it will excrete it through the kidney, and the other 50% will excrete it without the kidney, or with no effect of the kidney. Okay, so when the patient having 20% of the kidney function, what is the effect on this 50%? It will be 20% of the 50. So 20 multiplied by 50 over 100, it will be 10%. Okay, so 10% will excrete it through the kidney, while the 50% still excreted without any effect of the kidney. So the total drug excreted will become 10 plus 50. It will be 60% of the drug will be excreted. So when we have a renal failure and the function of kidney becomes 20%, only 60% of the drug will be excreted. So we should give 60% of the normal dose. So you should multiply this 125 by 60% or 0.6. It will be 75 milliequivalents per 6 hours or every 6 hours. Is it clear? Okay. This was the last question today. Okay. Now we can open the discussion for all of you. If you have any question, if you have any concern about the exam, about anything, please raise your hand and open your mic and ask, or send it in the chat.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, can we do like the milli equivalent equations again? I have like some questions related to that.
Okay, let's go back to this milli equivalence. Yes, this one. Okay. What about your questions about milli equivalence?
Yeah, in milli equivalent, like if we are converting 10 gram into 10,000 milligram, and why are we like not converting the molecular weight like 246 gram into
If
mg?
we have 10 mg present in,
like is we have not converted like 246 molecular weight of like magnesium sulfate, which is given at 246 gram.
You are asking about the unit of the molecular weight.
Yeah.
Never mind about the unit of molecular weight, whatever the unit. Do not look to it. Okay, why?
Like it's already
because it is a ratio. The molecular weight unit is a ratio between the weight and number of moles. If the weight in milligram, we have millimoles. If the weight in gram, we have moles. Finally, they will give the same number. Okay, so
we
never
are
mind
not
at
converting
all.
it.
Yes, never mind at all about the unit of the molecular weight. Take the number as it is, whatever. Is it gram per mole or milligrams per millimole? Okay.
Okay.
Let us see another question.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Doc, I have a question.
Yes.
About question number 2.
Question number 2. Let's go back to question number 2. This one.
No, the one with isotonicity.
Isotonicity, yes. I think the first one. This one.
Yes. So the question just says the parenteral preparation is not isotonic, but it doesn't tell you if it's hyper or hypotonic.
Yes. Yes, so that we do all possibilities and compare between the possibilities that we have with the answers. Here we have 2 possibilities. The solution may be hypertonic or hypotonic. Therefore, I put those 2 possibilities. If hypertonic, what will happen to the RBCs? It will shrinkage. While if hypotonic, what will happen to the RBCs? Hemolysis will happen. Okay, shrinkage is not found here, right? Only hemolysis present. So this is the answer.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
Okay. If he asks about specific solutions, so if we replace this statement by what happens with parenteral preparation that is hypotonic. Okay, so we don't have a possibility here. We just check the possibility of hypotonic. So the answer directly will be hypotonic, hemolysis. And you will find in the choices the shrinkage. Okay, you will find in the choices the shrinkage present. What else? Let us see the questions in the chat.
Hey, I have another question, if
Please.
possible. Yeah,
Yes.
so about question number 10,
Mhm.
about, the percentage that's excreted unchanged in the urine. So
Mhm.
my question is just like the part is the one that's not excreted unchanged. Is it the one that's not affected by the renal function?
Yes. Yes, it is not
Yeah.
affected
Okay.
by
So
the
if it's
renal function.
70%, so if it says 70% of cloxacillin, for example, is excreted unchanged in the urine, that means that 70% is not affected by that 20%
Yes.
decline in renal function. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I also have another question regarding the
Mhm.
questions in CAPS exam in general.
Mhm.
Are they similar to like I've tried solving some samples on the APC websites. Are they similar to these samples because they're a bit hard? So I don't know if you had a look at them or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Regarding to the APC, they put the question of old exams, which will not repeat it. Okay, so the questions present in the APC will not repeat it, and they mention about this, and they gave a note about this. But the idea is repeated. The idea of those questions are repeated. So we should solve them to practice and know the idea of the questions. Okay.
Yeah, because just especially the sorry to cut you short. Yeah, especially the chemistry part was a bit maybe more complicated, especially the SAR. Yeah.
So they will not repeat it by the same question, but the idea may be repeated. Some ideas may be repeated, but you should take care about something regarding to the APC, the answers. Some answers are wrong. Okay, unfortunately, some answers present are a wrong answer. So take care about the answer and be confident with your answer. If you are confused about one of them, check and search about the right answer and be confident with your answer.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
Okay. Let us see some questions of the chat. Maria, for hypertensive crisis, drug of choice. Yes, here we have some debates about the drug of choice. We have many drugs can be used for hypertensive crisis. Can use any of the antihypertensive agent for hypertensive crisis. But the first line is labetalol and ismolol, either this or this. You can use also hydralazine. You can use the nitrates. So all of them can be used. If they are found in same choices, if you have choices of hydralazine, labetalol, and other choices, please choose labetalol. If you don't have labetalol, so you can choose hydralazine or sodium nitroprusside. Okay. The next question. The next session, we don't have next session because the exam will start tomorrow. So there is no next session. Okay, we will start the new classes again for preparation for July, but not the revision. It's a course or preparation course for July exam. Okay.
Yeah, and when is the results like publishing after this CAPS exam? Can we see the results of the CAPS exam after doing it?
The regions?
The results, like, does it take a bit longer the result for this exam? Like I have having my exam on Tuesday, and when will I get the result? If I'm like pass or fail kind of thing.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your question. I don't know what is that question you asked about. You asked about the
Oh,
registration.
sorry. Result, like after
Yes.
doing the exam, is it a computer-based exam? So how long will it take to get the
Yes,
result?
recently the exam result appear after maximum 3 weeks of the exam. So in the official site for March exam, it will appear on 22 of March.
Oh,
They
good.
mentioned that
You.
the results of this exam will appear or will be held or released in this date.
Thank you.
The next question, which drug is not required loading dose? Actually, this question is a very difficult question to answer. We have a list of drugs, a very big list of this or this. This depends on the choices present in the question. Okay. Let's see the next question. Want to have more session for calculations? How is that possible? Yes, for the calculations, there is a specific course for calculation, pharmaceutical calculation preparation course present in our website, www.newptech.com. There is a specific course for calculation, contains the most important topics related to the calculation in the CAPS exam regarding to the dilution, mixing, mole equivalence, molarity, pharmacokinetic calculations. It's formed of 3 lectures containing all topics that you need for the exam, plus test containing a large number of questions that help you to practice about the calculation. The next one will be nitrogen is nicotine. Nitrogen in nicotine is for stability or solubility. In nicotine, we have 2 atoms of nitrogens. Okay, these 2 nitrogens present in a heterocyclic ring. So it is present in the structure of the rings. It's not for stability. It may increase the solubility, but not for stability, because it is one of the composition of the nicotine itself. Okay, it have 2 rings, pyridine ring and pyrrole ring. So those 2 nitrogens is for stability regarding to this question. Okay. About July review, generally we start the revision about any exam before the exam or for 1 month of the exam. But in the coming period, we will start the new group for preparation or new course for preparation to July exam. Okay, this will start in the coming week directly for persons who didn't attend the March exam and want to set the July exam. They can join us in this course. Yes, the results will be 21st of March or 22nd of March, whatever. So it will be very soon.
Hi, sir.
Hello.
To prepare for July examination, when can we join your course, sir?
Yes, you can join.
Any particular?
You can join now because we will start them in the coming week directly. I will announce about the course composition and how can we study. This will be present in the website and our website www.newptech.com, and also we will have a session about the course, and the CAPS exam itself will be in the 11th of March in the coming Saturday. Okay, so join us in the coming Saturday to know how can you join, or you can go directly to the website and register to the website for the joining. Okay, either this or this.
Okay, sir. One more, sir. Like,
Yes.
are you currently registered? Are you a registered pharmacist in Australia, sir? I have few
Yes,
questions to ask.
about the steps of registration.
No, sir, not about steps of registration.
Mhm.
Like, once you pass the CAPS examination and once you do internship, everything, like when once you become full-fledged pharmacist, will you be able to open a pharmacy there? I mean, like, can
Yes.
can we be the owner of a pharmacy there, being from
Yes.
a
Yes.
overseas region?
Yes, I think you can do that.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, one more
The,
last question. Like,
yes. Mhm.
only for pharmaceutical chemistry and pharmaceutical calculations can we join your course, sir? Only do you have course
Yes.
for those two sections?
Yes. A specific course for each of them, for chemistry and for calculation, also present in the website. We have a specific course for chemistry alone and specific course for calculation alone.
Hi,
Yeah, sir.
sir.
I've
Mhm.
seen, sir, but by clubbing both those, can we get some discount or something like that from you? Because it is mentioned for a separate thing.
Mhm.
So if you are doing for two different
They,
things, can we get it? I mean, like two things clubbed, like calculations and
they are
chemistry.
already discounted. If you go to the website, to those courses, you will find that they are already discounted, having a discount about each of them.
Okay, sir. Okay, I'll just go through them once and try to contact you directly, sir. Once.
Okay, you are welcome.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, sorry for disturbing. Sir,
No
just
problem.
I have one query. If we will pass the CAPS exam, inshallah, and then
Inshallah.
later on we'll apply for internship, and
Mhm.
when we'll go for internship and after internship, for example, in a bad sense, if we will not pass the exam, like written exam or oral exam, so what will be the future like there?
You should pass them.
No,
They
for
are not.
example, in a bad sense.
Yeah, yeah. You will repeat them till passing them. They
So
are not.
either, yeah, if
They
we
are
will
not a
not pass,
difficult
like for
exam.
example, we can work as a pharmacy assistant.
Yes, pharmacy assist.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Mhm. But they are not a difficult exam. They are easy exam to pass.
Okay, doctor. And doctor, one more thing, like
Mhm.
for example, if we are in like other country, I'm from UAE, so I
Mhm.
am living here. So if I will pass the exam, so how internship possibility, like it is from online, we can get easily
No,
jobs.
no. You should be in Australia. You should be there to get the internship. You should be there.
So we have to apply for the immigration visa or something.
Yes. After CAPS, you
Okay.
should apply for immigration.
Okay. Thank you, doctor.
Yeah, hello, doctor.
Hello.
I just did the mock test that was in the site and I didn't
Yes.
find the answer. Is there any answer after this, after we
Yes.
solve it?
Yes, the mock test containing the answer, and you can review. After you
Yeah,
finish the
I
test,
did
you
like,
can make
yeah,
the review.
I did the review, but I didn't find the answer. Is there somewhere like in the side or not?
The answers,
Wasn't there?
the
Yeah.
answers, you will find the right answer present in a green box, and your performance also present. If the performance is right, or if your answer is right, you'll find a right
Yeah.
sign,
Correct kind of, yeah, correct
including
was
in green
there.
box. While if your answer is wrong, you'll find your answer included in a red box, and the green box contains the right answer.
Oh, it didn't show like that in my screen.
You can check it again. You can review it again and see your
good.
response and the right answers. Mhm.
Yeah. Is there any
Sir?
chance the questions will be there from that mock test?
So, those mock tests or those questions present in mock test from the real exams, from the previous exams. So the possibility of recurrence of some questions is high. You may
Yeah,
find
there was
some
a
of them in
questions.
your real exam. Mhm.
So there was a question related to the biologics and something I haven't read about it. Like, can you please explain about that a little bit of that? What's like biologics, and there is something related to that, biosimilars or something?
Biosimilar. You can send me the question to discuss about it. I don't remember actually the question that you mentioned now, but you can send it to me to discuss about it.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello,
Sir,
doctor.
Hello.
one question, sir.
Uh, I thank you so much for all your efforts. You really helped me, especially in the calculation part. I joined your course, and it's really helpful. Thank you so much for that. This is firstly. Secondly, I have a question regarding the exam itself. Is it easy to deal with the erasable pen and papers they gave us, the board, I mean, for calculation, or it's just, I'm afraid that it's hard to write on it? And I have another question regarding the exam set itself. Is it like the center will be like you have a private space for you to focus on the question, or would be like disturbing?
Okay, let me say the scenario of the exam to make you imagine the real exam, what will happen with you. Firstly, you will register for the exam with the, you're going to the center of the examination and register with your name and your passport. They will check your information and check the passport or ID. Then you will go to a separate partition with a computer connected to the internet for sure. They will give you a paper, a sheet of paper and pen. Okay. You can write or erase anything you write. They will not affect anything. And you should have your own calculator. You should take your own calculator with you.
Okay.
Okay. Then starting the exam on the computer and saying some information about the test and some instructions. Then starting the exam, the questions will start with the first one, and you will find a timer here counting down. The timer will count down from 120 to 0. Okay. You cannot pass any question, or you cannot press on the next until you choose an answer, any answer. Okay, so what will happen if you confuse about the answer or do not know the right answer? What you should do? You should choose the most applicable answer for you, and then click on the flag. You'll find an icon or flag in the top of the page. This flag will help you to go back to this question whenever you want, or at the end of the exam when we make a review about all questions, you can go back to the questions that you flagged on.
Okay, great. So
okay.
Yeah, so the papers you give us a regular paper, not an erasable sheet or something, right?
Erasable sheet.
It's erasable sheet.
Yes,
so it's easy to deal with, right? It's
yes,
not
very easy. It's like a paper. It's like a normal paper. There is no problem with this.
No problem. All right.
And you can write anything on it.
Okay,
There's no restriction about writing.
Oh yeah, sure. And about the computer itself as a screen, is it like in a private space? Like it's
yes,
because
it is a private
yes,
it is a private space and separate space.
Separate space, yeah, sure. Okay, thank you so much.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
Sir, this is a bit vague. Like, I heard like of 3 days of examination, the people who write exam on the third day find it easier compared to the first 2 days. And most of the questions repeat from the first 2 days of the examination. On the third day, people generally say, sir, I mean, like, as per your experience from your past students and your experience, is it true, sir? Is it true? Like, third days of exam will be easier compared to first and second day, and first and second day questions will be repeated on the third day?
It depends on your luck. Okay. How? Because they put the questions like the following. They have, for example, a pool of questions. For example, 1,000 questions for each paper. Okay, this 1,000 questions will be distributed for many models, random distribution, and each model should contain 100 questions. So the possibility of models is very high. Okay, the possibility of models is unlimited. You may have a repetition of question. You may have a repetition of questions from the first, from the second day. So this makes the third day more easier. But some people having a new question in the third day. So it depends on your luck. But mostly, the percentage of new questions are very low, which will not affect the passage. If you prepare well, if you know the recalls very well, so you will pass, inshallah.
Okay, sir. Preparing well for recalls, will it really help us in clearing exams, sir? Like maybe from each subject somewhere around some 2,000 questions like that. Any particular, sir? Or if not, do you have any specific recalls course only at the end? Or if not, if you take your full course, will you help us in taking all the recalls which are important as well?
Yes. In my course, I depends on a very important thing. I depends on the recalls, but it is not the back stones or the main stones or cornerstones of the course, because I depends on the idea. How can we solve any question regarding to the exam? So either the questions repeated or not, we can solve it. It depends on this idea in the course. Okay, do you know what I mean? So if we have a question like any of the questions that we discussed, when I explain the question, I mentioned that if the question changes to be the following, or what you will do if you have a change in the question. This is the important thing, not only to know the recalls, but you should know how can we solve any question if the question changed.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes. Marianne?
Okay.
Yes. Marianne, you can ask.
Yes,
your mic
doctor.
and-
It's the first time for me with you on this online session. You repeated more than twice the site. Can you just say it again slowly?
The website, www. Yes, I will write it now. www.
Yes. Yes.
newptech.
NEW.
NEW.
Yes.
Let me write it again. New P Tech. NEWPETC.
Yes.
.com.
.com. Okay. And about the courses, doctor, how can we join the courses, and please tell us a little about it.
Okay. The course, we will start a new course in the coming week regarding to the July exam. We will have a specific session for orientation to this course will be on the coming Saturday, 11th of March. Okay. Also, you can go to this website, the newptech.com. Okay. www.newptech.com. When you open the website, you will find an icon called blogs or posts. This blog contains many posts. One of them, how to join or enroll the course. It is describing the steps of joining. How can you join? Okay, so you can follow the steps and join the course.
Okay, about the course, doctor, it's usually like today's sessions, you will solve questions, or?
We will explain everything about the course in the coming session in the 11th of March. Okay, so you can join us in this session to know everything about the course and about the CAPS exam.
11th of March, Saturday, at which time?
Saturday at 8
Yes,
p.m.
time.
Sydney time. 8 p.m. Sydney time.
In Egypt, that means
11
when?
a.m. At the same
11
time
a.m.
today. At the same
Okay.
time today. Same time of today. You can contact me directly on the WhatsApp
Sure.
if you want any questions. This is the
Okay, can you share this
yes.
number?
Do you see the screen?
Oh, okay.
This is the number. Okay, so you can send me directly.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
You're welcome. Let us see some questions in the chat because we have many of them. The first question: herbal not used with ethinyl estradiol. Which one? For this question, there are many choices, but the main herbal that affecting the level of estradiol or estrogen in the body will be fenugreek. So the choice of this question will be fenugreek. Okay, this is the right answer of this one. Let us see the next one. Any memoric for drug requiring renal adjustment versus hepatic adjustment? Yes, I sent it in our revision. We have a table containing some drugs needs renal adjustment, needs adjustment when there is a renal impairment, and drugs needs adjustment when there is a hepatic impairment. Is it easy to deal with the erasable? Ah, yes, we answered this previously. Please write down the site. Yes, also stability. No, solubility. For this question of nicotine, the nitrogen present in the nicotine is for solubility, not stability. Solubility. Okay, Maria, did you got it? Please confirm. For paper 1 content and paper 2 content, we will discuss this in the orientation session. We will know the content of each paper. We will know the content of the course. Everything about the course will be in this session. And the fees also. Yes. Yes, you should take the English test after the CAPS. Not before the CAPS. It's not required for the CAPS. So it will be after the CAPS. Sadia saying that should we take anxiolytic medication before the exam? I don't recommend that because it may decrease your concentration, especially with the calculation problem. Just sleep well and drink any drinks, any hot drinks that are making a relaxation for you. And don't worry about the exam. The exam is very easy. Okay, don't worry about that. Just relax and enjoy the questions. They are not very difficult or a difficult exam or tough exam. It's not that. Yes, thiophalin for hepatic adjustment. If there is a hepatic problem, you should adjust the thiophalin dose. Any other question? Okay. So finally, I'd like to thank you so much about your attendance today and your attendance in the last parts of our sessions, the revisions. And I hope you have a very fruitful and easy exam. Okay, and hope all you will pass, and inshallah we will celebrate at the 21st of March. We will celebrate with all of you in the 21st of March with your passing record. Thank you very much again, and see you soon in the celebration with the results. Okay, thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.